Welcome to another version of Herstory. And today we're thrilled to have with us Frank Bittner from the Friends of Anna L. Carroll from the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Welcome, Frank.
Nice to be here.
Well, Frank, I'm so glad that you're here. Tell us a little bit how you got involved with the Friends of Anna L. Carroll.
Really was by accident. I had moved to Maryland's Eastern Shore in the late 90s, and one of the neighbors had come over, an elderly gentleman, and in the midst of talking about everything really, he had mentioned that there was a lady that was buried at Old Trinity Church in Church Creek that had served with President Lincoln's cabinet.
Oh.
And he had mentioned some of the things that she was responsible for having done. And I found the story very unusual and questionable, and wondering, how could this be? No one's really heard of her.
Is she very famous in the community, or is she somewhat of an unsung heroine there as well?
She's an unsung hero nationally. And she was buried in 1894 in their community with her parents in Old Trinity Cemetery. And people have been very irked because in effect, she was ignored when it came time for recognition after the Civil War. And if you follow the story, how she was involved with Governor Hicks in Maryland, helping to keep Maryland in the Union during the Civil War. That way, Washington, D.C. was never surrounded by the enemy, per se. She helped Lincoln issue with information to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. There was a problem, if you recall, with President Lincoln not being sure that he had the power to declare war. The powers of the Supreme Court, in effect, had his hands tied.
Right.
She had written presidential briefings, her interpretation of the Constitution, which allowed him to do that.
How did she prepare herself for all these high-level policy and writing?
As a youngster, she was born in 1815, Somerset County, which was very rural at that point. Her father had a plantation there, 300 acres. And during her early years, her father and mother were both very well educated, and she couldn't learn enough. She was a constant reader. She had a constant interest in everything. She was reading classics.
Right, an early gifted and talented young woman.
5.
Right.
So, and as Miss Larson, her biographer, says, you can only crochet so many doilies.
Oh, right, or embroider. Right.
Or embroider.
Right.
So it was rather interesting that by age 15 she was her father's legal secretary, and she was helping him also when he served as governor of Maryland, because Thomas King Carroll was a Maryland
So
governor.
she was lucky to have him as a mentor.
So basically he dumped everything he knew into her, and it still wasn't enough. She was studying constitutional law and the Constitution by age 16. And through him being governor, naturally she had been introduced to politicians and all her father's friends who just knew her as his assistant.
Oh.
And a lot of times she would interact with these folks when he was absent.
So by presence, she could learn a lot.
So,
is she part of the Carroll family that's prominent in Maryland?
There were four branches of Carrolls in Maryland. This is one of those 4. She is like second cousin. Her father was second cousin to Charles Carroll, but they were very close business-wise during that era because Thomas King Carroll practiced law in Baltimore. There are information that states that he was one of his co-lawyers in the group was Francis Scott Key, if you recall, the guy that wrote the song, the one-hit wonder, and the national anthem. But they were the early lawyers for the railroad, the B&O, when it was founded. And of course, Charles Carroll, being the signer of the Declaration of Independence, laid the cornerstone for the B&O. So there wasn't a whole lot of major business in that era, but the Carroll family was involved in it. being the pillars of the community in Maryland since the beginning.
Well, I know you've also been a promoter of the video, the DVD, the film, Lost River, that we showed as part of the series in Maryland for Anna L. Carroll. Can you talk to us a little bit about how that film got developed and the producer and what his involvement was with Anna?
Well, when Anne, as you're aware, spent the last 20 years of her life petitioning Congress for recognition and reimbursement of her own monies that she had spent during the Lincoln administration and never got either, the community in Dorchester County always seemed to feel a little bit put out. And when I had moved there, I started finding individuals that kept saying, one day the world will find out about her. And you could tell there was always this irked feeling. And I found that it had continued for many generations. Even the school marms in the country schools at the turn of the century after she died, from knowing the Carroll family, knowing that they had a great reputation as decent people, they started including Anne Carroll in their history lessons in these little one-room schoolhouses around the shore. From there, she was actually put into the Maryland history books in the 1930s that were distributed statewide. So, but the community in Dorchester, at the most, I would say it might have been 18 to 20 of them that I knew. Some of them have passed on. They all waited for something to happen. And that something happened in 2010 when I discovered that a movie had been made about her life story. And I started making phone calls to see who did it, what studio, and what could we have any input in it. Because this was an answer to a generation-old wish.
Right, and also something, it'll be a tool to use with other students and other people that had never heard of her or didn't know much about her contributions.
Well, fortunately, it was not done from a major studio. It was done by an individual. And that is a story in itself, how that came about.
So who is the producer again?
Bruce Bridegroom.
Frank, I've been thinking, I've been working with the Maryland Women's Heritage Center for some time, but I wasn't involved in the early planning of this Anna L. Carroll series. So how did all this come to how did it all come about? And how did the partners come together and all that kind of stuff?
When the Friends group got together to host the film premiere, the world film premiere in
What year was that?
November 2010.
10.
It was suggested that we partner with the Maryland Women's Heritage Center here in Baltimore. And that's when I got a hold of Jill Greenberg. And I had known of Jill 30-some years ago, and she was aware of me because of my involvement in East Baltimore.
Is that a great connection? Right.
Involved with a community organization that was over there, so it was like old home week. But the event that we put together in Cambridge in 2010, we had a partnership alliance with the Maryland Women's Heritage Center because Anna Ella Carroll is in the Maryland Women's Hall of Fame. And her exhibit is here as well.
Right here.
So we had worked together in 2010, and it was a reciprocal understanding that at some point they would be doing an Anna Ella Carroll event in Baltimore.
Great.
So we were able to put it together, whereas the Historic Society event was on Thursday, which dealt with panel discussion, and then there was an event on women in the military and Anna Ella Carroll's life story here as well. And then, of course, tomorrow we show Lost River at the Flag House.
And that was a great extension for those of us at the Heritage Center because we had done, Frank, you've talked a lot about the resources that are around that tell Anna's story. If someone was interested in learning a lot more about Anna Ella Carroll, what references or what books would you suggest that might show the full aspect of her story?
Well, basically, the two best, really, is the very first one ever written. And
what's the title of that? I forget.
That was called A Military Genius. By Sarah Ellen Blackwell. But understand that was written in 1890. And it's out of print. You may find one occasionally. But that was the original biography that was done on Anna Ella Carroll by the women's suffrage movement. There have been 6 books in the middle leading up to the newest. They're great storybooks, most of them, but some of them are really filled with inaccuracies. They're really, they lead you into a dead end, and the author has no choice but to come to some wrong conclusion in some cases. But the newest book that's out, that's the most complete that you'll ever need to own or read, is Great Necessities. The life, the times, the writings of Anna Ella Carroll, 1815, 1894.
And the author was again?
The author was C.K. Larson, Larson. If you go on the internet, I understand that it's available through Ex Libris. And you need to go to the Ex Libris website to get the best
Sure.
price and the fastest.
This is posted on your website too, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
On Anna Ella Carroll. So if they're interested in getting more information about that book, the simple thing is just to go to your website and click on it.
AnnaEllaCarroll.org, or you can go and join Friends of Anna Ella Carroll on Facebook.
And for those people that are not necessarily history buffs or history aficionados, they're sometimes not put off, that's maybe not the right word, but they're sort of intimidated perhaps by the thickness of that book. So can you talk to me how that it might appeal to people that are not necessarily historians by its draw? I mean, I've been fascinated now, but I had the chance to meet the author and also learn more in depth. But tell us some of the most interesting things that the Friends of Anna Ella Carroll have found in that book, or that they've used why they use it as a resource.
Well, you can take the book by chapter at different points of her life, at her different involvements. We have tried our best to separate the fact from the folklore, from the fiction. There have been books along the way that have made statements such as the empty chair that's in Francis Carpenter's painting was for Anna Ella Carroll. However, it's rather unique how that came about, and there's some pointers that might be there. There's no concrete, nothing concrete that says it was. So as you go through the other books, they draw conclusions, whereas Kay's book, actually, she's done the research, she's done a cross-section of research.
I see.
Even going and checking out letters between Lincoln's cabinet and staff and generals and telegrams for a 5-month period, which none of the other
That's very
writers bothered
extensive.
to do. So that's why we use Kay's book as the book of law when it comes to the Anne Carroll story. And also the book has Kay's Anna Ella Carroll story, but it also has within there the writings of Anna Ella Carroll. So if you wanted to, you don't need 2 books, you just need the one. Everything that is in there is her writings, if you just want to consult Anna Ella Carroll's writings to see what her style
The original
was.
sources, original documents.
It's an original source. It's a great one-stop
Cool.
for all of Anna Ella Carroll.
So like as a reader, then I could read chapter by chapter, piece by piece of what might interest me, and then I'm particularly interested in the actual writings of individuals. So if I wanted to learn more about her and her writing style, then that might be something I could do, or other people that are interested more about learning her story.
Absolutely.
Right. We've been talking a lot today about the Friends of Anna Ella Carroll, and do you want to tell us a bit more how people, if they want to learn more from her or your organization, how they can get in touch with you?
Well, we do have a website, just a regular internet website. It's friendsofAnnaEllaCarroll.org. And they can contact us through email there, but there's information and writings and some of the current research that the group has been working on for the last 3 years. There's photographs of our past events that we've had in Dorchester County. And there's a map how to get to us if you want to come and visit yourself.
Right, at the church that you talked about before, right.
And we're also on, we also have a page group on Facebook that people are welcome to join, and they get periodic updates as to what progress we're making. And that's on Facebook, Friends of Anna Ella Carroll.
Great. Well, thanks again, Frank, for being here with us today.
You're welcome.
That wraps up our session on Anna Ella Carroll and our series of events of Herstory. So I'd like to thank you again, and we'll see you next time.